Alright, 2002 Suzuki XL-7. Got the thermostat housing back in. Didn't bother to do the thermostat outlet, the thermostat, or the thermostat housing because I just thought it was a waste of time. They're not leaking. If they should leak in the future, it's not a hard job to do, and it's right there. It's not hard to get to like some of this other stuff. So I left that alone. Got this thermostat housing back in with the 3 bolts we talked about. 3 bolts. We're using 12 pounds of torque, only because I really couldn't find much data on what that torque should be, but it's an aluminum head. I don't think it needs that much, and that's the only number that I came across. Taking it off seemed like it was really extremely tight. I don't think that that's necessary, because all it's doing is, once you make that seal with the O-ring, and that O-ring where the housing meets the head, I used Velcro 35768. That's the O-ring I used. For the inlet pipe to the thermostat housing here, I used 36095 Velcro. It's identical to the O-rings that I need here. This is the outlet pipe. Velcro 36095. I'm waiting for one, so I can't actually finish right now. I did replace these bypass hoses with silicone hose. They are 1/4 inch or 6 millimeter inside diameter. I reused the spring clamps because they didn't show failure or corrosion or anything like that, so I just reused those. Up here it's pretty easy to get some worm gear on if that's what you like. Down in there I wouldn't advise because it's just too difficult to get it back off. If you're trying to get it off without removing the housing, which can be done, it's tight, but with the right tools you'd be able to get a spring clamp hose off. A spring clamp off the hose, but worm gear, you'd be out of luck. Have to take everything apart just to get some bypass hoses off. Again, everywhere you remove a hose and you find corrosion, I suggest, emery paper or sandpaper. Nothing too harsh, just to get the corrosion off. I like Evaporust to try and get that excess rust off. Just clean things up, so when you put it back, you don't have a hard time getting it off again, and you don't have a hard time getting it on. That said, I like to use silicone spray to make it easy for... I used Blaster silicone. It doesn't matter which brand you use. Silicone spray will help with the silicone hose, rubber hose going into metal, rubber O-rings going on to metal. You don't want to break your O-rings. Your O-rings are brand new. If there's too much friction between the rubber and the metal, it could break. You might not even know it broke, and then you're just tightening things up and thinking everything's all good, and then you put everything back together and you have a leak. So to avoid that, I put the O-ring onto its host dry, and then put silicone on the outside so that it won't roll and it won't break, and it'll slide in easy to what you're sticking it into. You know what I'm talking about, fellas. Anyway, I'll be back.